Bonk, bonk, one more. Oh my god. That killed. And drive rush overhead. Are people really down on Terry? He seems pretty good to me. Okay, I guess that's a good jumping off point. I'm going to finish up the stream by talking a little bit about Terry because people have spent the last 3 days demanding to know if I think he's top tier, bottom tier, broken, unplayable, both top 5 and unplayable garbage according to Twitter. As always, you know, my opinions are fact. Everything I say and believe is 100% true, and there's no way to deny anything I'm about to say, you know. It's not like these things are subjective, so I should just mention that I'm always right. I think Terry is actually pretty good, honestly. I think if I had to guess, he'll probably settle somewhere around the bottom end of top 10. I don't think he's like top cut material. I don't think he's as good as, like, you know, Akuma and Rashid and stuff. But I think he's really good. I think people are kind of like depressed about him, I think, because there are some gimmicks which didn't turn out to be as strong as we expected. So, like, let me just talk about a couple of things. So I am also guilty of this. I thought this would be broken, this target combo, because, like, it's hit confirmable, so that if you hit the crouch medium kick, you just go into a special, and if they block, you can just drive rush. But I think Capcom actually made a pretty sensible balancing decision with this thing, where they made it so that it's physically impossible to go into a block string off this. If your opponent just sees this target combo, they can always just mash a DP. Yeah. So this didn't end up being as good as I expected, and I think that there's a few things like that people assumed would be really good, but ended up being kind of disappointing with Terry. I'm going to start off with the negatives first, and then I'm going to talk about the positives. So, a couple of other things about Terry that are a bit disappointing. His heavy normals, I think, really stand out to me. This thing in particular. I feel like this normal alone, his stand fierce, is what's stopping him from being top 5 material. If Terry was exactly the same, but they just substituted this stand fierce for, like, the traditional Shoto stand fierce in this game, like, you know, Ryu or Ken's, like, big horizontal stand heavy punch, he would immediately be 100 times better. But yeah, his heavies are very stubby. You can't really use them in footsies, except maybe stand heavy kick. His sweep is terrible. This is one of the worst sweeps in the game. So you have to do a lot of stuff with his mediums. I think like the downsides are really obvious week 1, but the upsides are going to take a while to figure out. So, like, the reason I think people are thinking he's bad right now, or at least, like, meh, is because he's not as brain dead as the existing Shotos. I'm trying to think of, like, a diplomatic way of saying this. I think Terry is actually pretty technical and requires a lot of skill to play, and is going to at a high level. I think if you're, like, an existing, like, an Akuma player or a Ken player, you're going to think Terry sucks, because you're used to, like, very straightforward game plans. But for me, the things that I've noticed that I think are actually really strong about Terry are things that are kind of flying under the radar right now. So let me talk about a few things that I think are actually really cheap about Terry, which no one's talking about. And, like, one of them is setting up spacing traps into plus on block burn knuckle. This is something that I've been doing a lot towards the end of my Terry experiment. So, like, anytime you throw a fireball with Terry at, like, this range, it auto spaces you for a plus burn knuckle. So you can just do like this into that, and I'm +3. Like, I started to, like, play with this a lot towards the end, and it was working really well. Can you DI it on reaction? You can DI it, but it's obviously, if you're, like, really predictable, then you're gonna get punished like you would with anything. But I noticed so many situations where this is useful. So, like, for example, if I end a combo, let's say I do a combo like this. Heavy DP as a combo ender doesn't give great Oki. So, like, a lot of people are saying, like, his Oki is bad, but I noticed that if you just follow this up with a fireball and then burn knuckle, +2. So there's lots of situations where you can, like, lock your opponent down with a fireball and then go for burn knuckle, and it's just auto-spaced. So stuff like this I actually think is really strong in this game. But, again, that'll take a while to figure out because people aren't spacing it correctly right now. What else? Oh yeah, his burnout pressure. Another thing that I think people are massively underselling. Did you guys know that Terry's burnout pressure is, like, absolutely broken, provided your opponent does not have a DP, like a regular DP? Like, let's use an example here. Let's go with Manon. Like, you guys know me. I value burnout strings a lot because I'm an Aki player. As an Aki player, I know the power of burnout loops. And Terry's is absolutely fucking insane. But like I said, there is the caveat. I'll explain it in a second. But this whole string is completely uninterruptible with anything except for Wake Up Super. And then whatever. If you just alternate between medium crack shoot and EX crack shoot, there is straight up no way for Manon to interrupt that, which is insane. Because look how much chip damage as well this does. Because if I start in the middle of the stage, for example, which is like a more likely position. So like before I've even started the stun combo, I've done like, I don't know, an extra 1,000 damage maybe in chip. And then you get to do like... a lot. So like I said, there is a caveat to this. This crack shoot loop only works on characters that don't have a DP. Because it is considered an airborne move. Yeah, characters with DPs can get out of this. But the remaining half of the cast that don't have a DP can't. And you can bait the DP as well. You can like mix up the strings. So like rather than just doing the autopilot version, I could do like this into this. There's lots of ways you can like juke your opponent for trying to DP the gap. They kind of have to guess. Yeah. So even against DP characters, I think it's still really good. What else? So just in terms of like Terry overall stuff, he has all of the things that a character needs to be good in this game. They're not necessarily like the best possible versions of those tools. But like if you look at it, Terry has a good range 4-frame jab. His crouch jab is a little bit underwhelming, but his stand jab is actually really good. What else? Oh, he has a 6-frame medium, which, as I've said about a million times before in this game, having a 6-frame medium is like one of the most important things to have, because it means that you can punish drive reversal with a fat combo. Mid-screen, the punish is not enormous. It's still pretty good though. You can do like this. So that's like 2.7k meterless. That's still really good, to be honest. But like in the corner, his crouch medium punch actually auto spaces for a EX fireball loop. So you can do shit like this. So 6,155 damage on a drive reversal punish is pretty fucking good. Yeah, he's got a DP. His DP is good because the 3 different versions of Rising Tackle cover nice angles. You've got light, which just goes straight up, so this is good for deep jump-ins. You've got medium for like in between, and you got heavy for like far away. He's got low forward drive rush, which as I said is like automatically a good thing in this game. Buster Wolf is like top 3 level 1s. Dude, Buster Wolf, probably the single most impressive thing for me has been this level 1. This thing is incredible. It's also extremely satisfying to land. Every time I land this super, all of chat starts spamming, "Are you okay?" But this super is amazing. Obviously, it's fully invincible like all level 1s, or most level 1s. But it's 7-frame startup, and it also travels a massive distance. Like, this thing punishes so much on block that would normally be safe. I was getting so many punishes with this thing. Like, one example that happened to me yesterday, a Dowson player tried to do the new tech on me. They tried to do this on block. And I just punished it. That level 1 has been buffed. It's supposed to be safe on block now at -10. There aren't many 10 frames that will punish at that range. The list is very small. It's got lots of utility outside of just combos as well. Like one cool thing that I've been doing a lot is using it as a long distance anti-air as well. You can use it as a full screen anti-air. You just have to be a bit careful with the timing. Oh yeah, another thing, I'm just kind of jumping between like Terry's things that I like as well. is that I like how this game actually really rewards you for doing like whiff punishes with Terry. So crouch medium kick into a light shoulder is +3 on hit. So that, like, normally that's the whole combo. But if the shoulder hits from far out, it becomes like +4, +5. It can even be +6. And that means that this character is actually going to have an absolutely ridiculous footsie game. If you have good footsies, you can actually force this to hit late off crouch medium kick. And you can get like really cool combos off it. So like... So yeah, Terry can do some really cool stuff that rewards like time investment. That's my Terry review. I think he's good. I guess that just to summarize, I think he's good. The problem is that this game does not reward investing in technical characters. You could spend the next 200 hours of your life optimizing Terry, or you could pick Akuma and press stand fierce drive rush. The choice is yours. I just think that there are characters who do what he does better. Anyway. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think Terry is strong? Do you think Terry is weak? Let me know down in the comments, and I will see you guys in the next video.